Skadoosh ASMR Heavy. Hey, it's me, your best bud with ASMR. Cause the light went off, but we're gonna rock with it because maybe that's an interesting intro. Interesting. So yeah, hopefully this video finds you well. Hopefully you are good. Hopefully this video will be decent. And you can see that I've got the timer, so that means we are back with another picture-based quiz. Hopefully it will be decent. You may have done one of these with me before. If not, you'll get it pretty quick. We draw the clue. We give you 30 seconds to guess the clue. What does it mean? What does it mean? And then we'll get into the answer. If you need more time, always pause it. If you do need more time, try and figure it out. See how many you can get. Hopefully it'll be interesting. Hopefully it'll be a bit decent, a bit enjoyable. But other than that, if you've got any ideas or anything like that for videos and stuff, let me know and I'll have a little gander, a little butcher's. I'll have a butcher's here and see. Maybe I'll make it. Other than that, sit back, relax. It's about to begin. Okay, so we are using this planner that I didn't really use at the time, so we're going to recycle it for this purpose. Hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully you don't mind. And I'll draw them in each one so you know which ones. So we'll do 1, 2, so it makes sense in that way, do it makes sense in that way. So this first one is there's your clue for the first one, and here is your time. Good luck, good luck. That's the clue, that's the clue. Like I say, you get 30 seconds. There's your clue. Like I say, you gotta figure out what does this mean? What does this mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? And like I say, then boom, just like that, the 30 seconds is up. Which, like I say, if you do need more, always remember you can hit the pause button, pause it now, and then you've got a chance to look at it. Otherwise, we'll get straight into the reasons. So, the answer to this one is simple-ish. So, the first part is to do with this, in which it is cash money. So, cash. So that's the first part, cash. So this is cash, and this is supposed to be a crown. This is supposed to be a crown to suggest king, because cash is king. Cash is king. Cash is king. Cash. The cash is king. Cash is king. Cash is king. That's the answer to that one. So if you got cash as king, you got it correct. Well done, good job. Here's number 2, here's number 2. Okay, so there's your clue for the next one, and here is your time. Good luck. Tick-tock goes your time as we reveal this one. Here we go. So the important part for this one is you guys see that there's 2 bits. Both of these have got a 4 in them. 4. See? So that's the important part to start with. And then what have we got left? A 1p and a 16 ounce. So it's in for a penny, in for, because the 1p is in for a penny, and you should get it now if you know the saying, but if not, the rest of it is the same again, in for and then in for a pound, because 16 ounces is a pound, is 1 pound, 1 pound. 16 ounces is 1 pound. 16 ounces is 1 pound, and that 1p is a penny. So in for, they're both in for, and it's in for a penny, in for a penny, in for a pound. So in for a penny, in for a pound. Hopefully that makes sense. In for a penny, in for a pound, in for a penny, in for a pound is the answer. Hopefully you got it correct. If you did, good job. If you got it correct, good job. This is the next one. There's the next one. Good luck. And just like that, your time is up. So this one's quite easy, I'm hoping. So it's literally just knock and pine. So the first bit is literally just knock, and knock is on pine. Knock is on pine. So we're gonna put knock on, and then what's pine? Pine is a type of wood. So knock on wood. Knock on wood, because knock is on pine, and pine is a type of wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood is the answer. If you got knock on wood, then you got it correct. Well done, well done. Here's the next one. There's the next one. And here is your time. Good luck. And just like that, your time is up. So what about this one? What is this one? What are we saying? You've got to take into account, as I knocked the camera, apologies. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. If it was, then we can always move on. Here it is. 81E551NG. But if you change it to a word instead, blessing, you can technically look, you can see it, you see it right, see that? It's actually blessing. Change it to a blessing. And we could say that that was blessing, but it was disguised to make the phrase blessing in disguise. I think I've spelled that right, but you get the gist. If not, blessing in disguise, because that's blessing, but it's got 8s and 1s and 5s because it's hiding in plain sight. It's hiding in a disguise. Blessing in disguise is the answer. So if you got blessing in disguise, you got it correct. So well done. If you got blessing in disguise, here's the next one. there's your clue, and here's the time. I've just realised I've put this one in notes rather than 5, but that's okay. So there's your time up. So if we connect it together, it says femur, which is also a bone in the leg, and it was broken at that time, wasn't it? So it basically represents the leg bone, femur. It was broken, so break a leg is what it's getting at. Break a leg is the answer, because femur, it was split up because it was broken apart with the M being broken, so break a leg is the answer I was looking for. That looks like egg, kind of. But anyway, break a leg. If you got break a leg, then you got it correct. Well done if you got break a leg. To be fair, it's completely unusable outside, so we'll move on. These numbers mean nothing now, that's cool. That is what it is. Here we go, here's the next one. So that's the clue, and here is your time. And this is number 6. Good luck. So there's your time up. Okay, so this one, okay, this one. First things first, feeling is under these here. Feeling is under these here. So feeling is the start of it, and it's feeling under. Feeling under, and what are these? Snow, fog, sun, rain, wind. They are all weather types. So feeling under, and if you put weather into a saying, what does that get? That's right, feeling under the weather. So feeling is under the weather, because it's all under these weather types here. Feeling is underneath it. Feeling under the weather is the correct answer. If you got it correct, well done. Feeling under the weather. Feeling under the weather is the answer. So if you got that correct, well done. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, there's your clue. And here is the time. I'm trying to put this here to not distract you. There we go. Oh, did I not? I don't think I twisted it. Or did I? I don't know. We'll give you more time now. Either way, there's 30 seconds. I don't know if I twisted it. If I was distracted by not seeing what it said. Just an FYI, this is supposed to be all in line. That means nothing. That it's moved a bit. Just an FYI in case. So there is your time. Maybe add it twice, I'm not sure. But yeah, this is number 7, just in case. So here we go. Here it's a bit of jibber jabber, jive. It's talking jive, but if you take out every other letter, to make J, U, if you take it out of that, so we've got INJURY, injury. And then if you take in what we just had before that, which isn't crossed out now, IN, I think I might have messed those up. I think that was the S and that was the J. I'm not sure. But if we mix those up, so that was the J and that was the S. That way around, U, L, T. You get two different words: insult and injury. And because they're put together, you're adding insult to injury. I butchered the explanation a little bit, but I think that makes sense, right? You've got injury and insult basically, or been added together to make one long word. So you add, and then if you read between the lines, kind of towards the saying, there's adding insult to injury. Insult to injury, adding insult to injury. So if you got add insult to injury or adding insult to injury, whichever one's fine, add insult to injury or adding insult to injury, adding or not adding, or add, that's either way is fine, but if you got add insult to injury, then you got it correct. Well done, you got it correct. Here's the next one. There's your next clue. There it is. Good luck. Here is your time. And this is number 8. Just FYI, I didn't get this one at the time, but it's quite clever. So if you need a bit more time on this one, make sure you take it. Make sure that you take it. So that's your time up. That is your time up. But let's have a look at this one. Okay, so the first bit's quite easy. It's at. So it's the at for like the one that we use in computers for like email addresses and such. So you just change that bit to at. That is at. And then we've got, if you look at it like this, what's that word? Look at the word fedora. Fedora, which is what? A hat. And then if you start putting it together, you might get to start to work towards the saying. But part of the fedora has been dropped. So, fedor, and then the ra is dropped. So at the drop, because of this bit being dropped, of a hat, at the drop of a hat. Sorry about my terrible handwriting, as ever, sorry about that. But yeah, at the drop of a hat. Fedora's been dropped, it's a hat, at. It's a hat, and it's been dropped, at the drop of a hat, at the drop of a hat. If you got at the drop of a hat, then you got this one correct. You got that one correct if you got at the drop of a hat, so well done. I think we're going to move on to the next page this time. Okay, here's the next one. there's the clue, and here is your time. Good luck, good luck. Good luck, good luck. Okay, so that's your time up, that's your time up. Okay, let's think about this one. So, the clue here is this. So if you split that out, what's that? Satan. And then it also leaves another word, which is details. Details, details. So put those two together. For one, so, and then this is Satan, and it's in details. Satan in details, or if you change Satan to devil, devil in the devil in the details, because Satan, devil, Satan, devil, and it's in details. So devil in the details, devil in the details. If you got devil in the details, then you got it correct. Good job. Okay, this is the next one. There you go, that's your next clue. Good luck. So that's your time up, that's your time up. Let's think about this one. It is of course a clock face, And where's it pointing? Where's it kind of indicating? It's at the 11. So that's part of to start with, at the 11. If you change that to 11th hour, to make it the known saying at the 11th hour, because that's technically where it's pointing, isn't it? It's saying, look here, at the 11th hour, at 11, and that's the 11th hour. That's why it didn't have anything other than those clues. So at the 11th hour, because the at is here, and it's the 11th hour. So if you got at the 11th hour, you got it correct. Good job, good job. Here's the next one, There's your clue, and here is the time. Yeah, that's your clue. That is your clue. time. So this is this one then. Here we go. So evil, evil, pointing at. This one's a bit bigger than that one. So that one's a small evil. And it's. Can you see where we're going with this one if you haven't already got the answer? And that's the lesser of two evils. A common saying, the lesser of two evils. There's two evils, 1, 2. This one is the one that is pointing at because it's the smaller one. So the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. If you got that, then that you got it correct. Good job. The lesser of two evils. Here's the next one. But ignore like the length of that. That doesn't mean anything. Just FYI. They're all supposed to look basically the same, but I don't know why I did them different. They're all supposed to look exactly the same, basically. So there's your time. Good luck. Okay, so there's your time. That's your time. Let's look at this one then. Let's look at this one. Okay, so on 4, on 4, on 4, and all of them say on 4. So on all 4s is what the answer is looking for. On 4s, and they're all on 4s. On 4s, on all 4s. You can't go jumble it around. Hopefully that makes sense. That's the answer that it's been looking for on this one. On, and they're all on 4. On is all on 4s. On all on 4s. On all 4s. It kind of makes sense, but that's the answer I was looking for. I didn't get this one personally, so I don't know. But that's the answer. So if you got on all 4s, there's you getting another one correct. Well done. Good job, good job. This one's more simple. This one's more simple. There you go. Good luck. I don't feel like you need the time in this one, I'm not going to lie, but you can have it anyway. There's your time. There's your time. I feel like you've got this one right. Surely you've got this one. But work 9 to 5. Work 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. As Dolly said. Shout out at Dolly. Yeah? She's definitely watching. Working 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. So if you got working 9 to 5. From work being inside of 9 to, work it from 9, work 5, it's giving you the answer there. So 9 to 5, working 9 to 5 is the answer. If you got working 9 to 5, then you got it correct. Good job. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. Hopefully my drawing there is okay, but if not, it is what it is. I'll explain it when we get to it. So there's your time anyway, there's your time. So there's your time. If you ever need more, look, I don't know if I got this one, you know, I can't remember. But that is your time. There's your time up. There's your time up. So this one, first things first is C. So that changes to C. C becomes C. C becomes C. Then we've got, that's supposed to be an I. C-I, and then that's supposed to be 2. And then that's supposed to be an I as well. C-I to I. You know? So that's a C for C. And I, both of those are supposed to be for I. And that's the 2, which is 2. So C-I to I. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. But yeah. C for C. I for I. 2 for 2. And I for I. C-I to I. C-I to I. C-I to I. If you got C-I to I, then you got it correct. Well done. Good job. Good job. Here's the next one. There's your next clue. I don't think I got this one either, so good luck. There, where we put this? We'll put that. Remember, if you do need more time, you can always hit the pause it, because we are out of time. There's your time, so here we go. So hopefully you noticed I put emphasis on the way this was put out, time, because that represents time is quite, time is supposed to be in this instance long time, and then the C is crossed out. C is crossed out for no, and then once again we change C to C. Long time, no C, because the time is long. It's long, and the C is crossed out. No C, no C, no C. Long time, no C. Long time, no C. Long time, no C. I think that's a pretty clever one. I like that one. I like that one. But yeah, if you got long time, no C. If you got long time, no C. Long time, no C. You got it. You got it correct. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. There we go. Here's the next one. There's your clue, and here is the time. There's your time. There's your time. There is your time. There's your time. So this one's a bit more simple, to be fair. You just gotta think, what's this? Go. Let's go. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. So go, and then we just need to change 4 from 1, 2, 3, 4 to this 4. So go 4, and what's AU? In the periodic table, that's the important thing then, that's gold. So go, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go for go, 4 for 4, and AU equals gold. Go for gold. Go for gold. Go for gold. If you got go for gold, then you got it correct. Good job. Good job. If you got go for gold, awesome job. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. There you go. There's the clue. There's the clue. Here's the time. I didn't get this one. Just FYI. I did not get this one. And there's your time. Tick, tick, ticked away. Tick, tick, tick. So here's the answer to this one. I didn't get it. FYI, it's an anagram. So if you want to pause it and take a bit longer because it's an anagram and work it out, then you can. But if not, we'll get into it. So first things first is E. Then we need the M. Ooh, that's an N. M. Then N. O. And then the P. And then the I. And then the O. And then the N. And then the S. Emotions. And what was it? Because it was mixed up into a different word, into an anagram, the answer is mixed. Because it was mixed up, mixed emotions. I quite like that one, I think that was quite clever. I didn't get it, so if you did, awesome job, awesome job. Let me know if you actually got this one, because I feel like it's one of the best ones. It's one of my favourite ones that we've came across so far. I think, I rate that, it's clever, you know, it's an anagram, so it's mixed up, which is then part of the answer. I was like, moonsight, what the hell is moonsight? But yeah, once you work it out, it's quite clever. Emotions, mixed emotions, because moonsight is an anagram of emotions. So if you got it, great job, great job. Here's the next one, here's the next one. There's your clue. There's the clue for this next one. Here's your time. Fumble the time. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. There's the time. This is the penultimate one. Just FYI as well. Penultimate question. Okay, so there's your time. There's your time. Have a pen on it, look. Anyway, that's your time. Here's the clue. Okay, first things first is they're in a box. They're in a box. So that's part of it, box. Because they're in a box. They're in a box. So the first part of this one is actually just a box. Then the next thing you need to really think about is what are all these words? You know, what are they a suggestion of? And that's if somebody's, you know, you could say that somebody is clever. If you put that together, it makes box clever. If I can spell and write, not very well, but box clever. So they're all inside the box. Intelligent, smart, genius, talented. Say another one of that thing you can say for that. Another anagram, another synonym or whatever. Box for box. And clever for, you know, it's another word for these words. Box clever is the answer. Box clever. If you got box clever from that, great job. You got it right, good job. Here is the final question. Here is the last one. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this one, to be fair. Drawing wise. Okay, this is supposed to be the effect of like snow, but I can't really do it, so there's your clue. It's the blue in the colouring is supposed to be like snow on it, so that's the clue for that. Like I say, this is number 20, so good luck. It's supposed to be like snowfall, and there's supposed to be like snow and ice, basically, snow and ice. But butchered it. Okay, so that's the time for this last one. Then we'll get into it. That is supposed to be, just in case you wanted a bit longer. That's supposed to be that. So if that didn't make sense from there either, that's that. That's what that is. Okay, so that's £14, which you could also say is a stone. And what's it? If it's covered in ice and snow, it would make it cold. So stone cold. £14 and it's freezing. Stone cold. Because £14 is a stone. £14 is a stone, and it's got ice and snow on it to make it cold. Stone cold is the answer. If you got stone cold, then that's an absolute stunner. So well done. I think I missed one out actually. Can you believe it? Can you Adam and Eve it? Which is it? That's fine. I just realised I missed one. So we've only done 19. We'll do this next. We'll do this one as the last one. But yeah, that's stone cold for that one. So we've got one more. I missed out 16 somehow. I missed out 16. And you know, I could edit it together to make it look like I didn't, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. That's supposed to be a pink, but it's not coming across as a pink to me anyway, so just FYI. There you go, there's the clue. And here is your answer. This is the actual last one, so good luck. don't know how I missed that out, to be honest. Don't know how I missed that out, but we didn't miss it completely, so that's the important thing. There's your time though. There's your time for this one. Okay, so the important thing here is obviously that's girl, that's boy, and you got to take into account the size difference, and it's pointing at this one. So that's the important information. So it's saying this is the important thing, but there's a differentiation to say this one's a boy, this one's a girl, this one's little, and the colour's also important, just FYI. So if you want to factor all those things in together, to be little boy, little boy blue, little boy blue. Do you know what I mean? Size difference, blue, the boy is blue, the girl is pink. That means more than just, because otherwise I could have just drawn them in the same colour, otherwise the colour wouldn't mean anything. But yeah, little boy blue, because the boy is little and it's blue, so little boy blue is the answer. If you got a little boy blue, good job, you got it correct. And that is the final one. That was number 16, which we missed out. So yeah, let me know what you got out of 20. Hopefully you did quite well. But yeah, if you did, do you want to let me know? That'd be cool. Can't even draw a question mark, so I got 0 out of 10, 20. I didn't even get it out of 20, I got it out of 10. But yeah, that concludes this one. Hopefully you did a good job. Let me know for real, let me know for real. But yeah, other than that, that concludes this picture-based quiz. Hopefully it was enjoyable, hopefully it was decent, and hopefully you did a good job. Hopefully you got a good score. I don't think I did that well from what I remember. Maybe not even half. So if you got more than half, awesome. If you got them all, incredible. But yeah, other than that, the only thing left to say is have a great day, have a great day, have a great day. You. Have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And, you know, as ever, cheers, all the best, God bless, for real. I do appreciate you watching these videos though. And if you're at this point, you didn't even enjoy it, props to you. But if you did enjoy it, thanks so much, I do appreciate that. And like I say, have a great day, cheers, all the best, God bless, and I will see you in the next one. So yeah, goodbye my friends, goodbye. Skadoosh.